Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Yarn Room Shenanigans. This is episode 8. I'm Gayle.
And I'm Laura. That's right.
So thank you all for joining in again for another fun-filled podcast. So what have we been up to? A lot. Knit City, Montreal was the highlight.
We had a little bit of a road trip. Yeah, we took a whirlwind road trip up to Montreal. Mm-hmm. Left last Friday night after I got off of work. So we were on the road by, I think it was 6:40 p.m. And we arrived at the hotel in Montreal at 12:30 a.m.
Yeah.
So just shy of 6 hours. We made really good time.
Yeah, no traffic. Yeah, Laura was driving, but no traffic. It was really good.
We had one tough spot for about a half an hour.
Just when we got to Vermont.
Yeah. So we were like up in the elevation and it poured rain and ground fog. So I was holding on to the steering wheel.
The next morning your hand hurt, you said.
My hand hurt the next morning because I didn't really realize it, but I was clenching the steering wheel for that. It was only about a half an hour or so, but for that little bit of time where the fog was like really thick white right on the ground. Of course, you're up in Vermont there where there's no like street lights or anything, so you're relying on the reflector lines in the road. It was a little tough.
Right.
But other than that, it was, easy driving.
Once we got into Montreal, it was easy.
We made good time. Gayle got us to the hotel with her co-piloting.
Yeah.
Because once we actually got there, then, like in the city, my GPS got a little funky.
Yeah, the buildings sometimes, even in New York City, the tall buildings sometimes, you can't really get good reception.
Yep.
So.
And it was hard to see because it was dark. Well, hard for me to see anyways.
Yes.
To look for like the sign of the hotel. It was called Le Centre Sheraton.
Yeah.
And actually, you'll see some pictures of it, I think, when we get things posted up. But
I think they are posted.
Okay. It's like in cement. You can't really see it very well. It's not like a flashing neon light or anything.
Right.
So,
but we did.
We got there.
Yeah, we did. And the hotel was lovely.
Yeah, really, really nice.
Really nice. I had no complaints except for the food wasn't the best.
Yeah, the restaurant.
I
think they were overwhelmed to begin with. It was almost more like cafe style, I would say.
Yes.
Like it's really an area where the bar is the main attraction. And then the food is secondary.
Right.
It was like probably the most extravagant thing that was on the menu was a burger. So it was that kind of, like it wasn't fine dining for sure.
Right. Right. But it was still good. We had fun.
It fed us, right?
Yeah, we certainly did. We did not go hungry.
Yep.
So that was very cool.
And it was really an amazing time. We got to see so many folks that that we were anxious to meet and say hello to. So many people of our Shenanigang came up and introduced themselves and gave us hugs and warm welcomes. Cool. And we had a really, really nice time. So we'll get into more of it as we go along in the podcast. But that's the main event since the last 2 weeks for me anyways. Yeah.
And so myself, as soon as we got back from Montreal, I came home, I slept a couple of hours, and then I got up and I drove to Sebago, Maine, which is about 3.5, 4 hours.
Doesn't it feel like that was like so long ago now?
Yes. Yes. It was like 3.5, 4 hours to get there, and I went on to a rug hooking school. That's as you all know, my other obsession. And it was great. It was, it's a lot of work. I mean, you get up early in the morning. You're it was at St. Joseph's College in Standish, Maine, and right on the lake. It's Sebago Lake, Standish, Maine. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, look it up.
All right.
So
I always thought it was called Sebago Lake, but
it is called Sebago Lake, but the town is Standish, Maine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because when I looked it up to find directions, I was putting in Sebago, Maine, and it wouldn't come up.
Oh, okay.
So, and then I went and looked at the hotel, and it said they were in Standish, Maine.
Oh, wow. Huh.
So anyways, so we would get up, and we were at the college at by 7 a.m. And then we would have a cup of coffee, a little bite to eat, and then get to hooking. And then we would hook till noontime. And then we would go and have lunch. And then we would hook till 5. And then we'd go have dinner. And so, yeah, it was a good time. I had a wonderful teacher, Sarah Giuliani. So shout out to you, Sarah. I love you. But all the teachers are great. I'm looking forward to the next rug school with Laura, and we're going to see Kathy Spellisy, whom I have never had before. Laura has on a couple of times,
yeah.
And I'm very excited about that. I've never done any primitive type of hooking, so that'll be fun. But yeah, so anyways, I got home on, when did I get home? Friday. I got home on Friday, so I didn't get a ton. So. Yeah, I didn't get a ton of knitting done. Also while I was at at the hotel in Maine, that was when this nor'easter thing was coming through. So I had a big storm. It was Friday, a big Saturday. Storm, and up in Maine, I mean, it really was bad. It was hard to see. It was coming down in buckets. So
we had about 5 inches of rain here.
So when I got to the hotel, I kind of backed my car into a space, which Laura hates when I do that, but because then the doors don't open in the right way or something. But I did back in, and I was kind of way on the end. So when I came out in the morning, I just went right to my trunk and I filled it up with my, I was leaving, so my suitcase and my hooking supplies. And I went to get in the car door, and my door wouldn't open. Somebody backed into me and hit me, and yeah, I have a lot of damage on my car. The door doesn't open, the bumper's gone, so whatever.
And nobody left a note or anything.
No, nobody left a note. Laura's shocked by that. I am not shocked by that, but I mean,
just think
somebody hit your car.
It just.
And they didn't leave a note.
I know, and I just think that's wrong.
Right.
Like, I'm disappointed for people.
Right.
That's the way people are.
Right. I have to tell you, one time I hit somebody's car. I was parking, and I don't know what happened, but I hit their car. And I actually sat in my car and waited till they came back. It was at least a half hour.
Yep.
And then I said to the woman, I hit your car, and I just wanted to let you know. She berated me. She was yelling at me. And her son was with her and said, Ma, she could have left. I stayed there and waited to tell her I hit her car. But anyways, that's another thing. But, all material things are replaceable, so I'll get that fixed up. But yeah, so that was my couple of weeks. Anyways, so that's that. So anyways, what are you wearing?
So I'm wearing, this is the... it's called the Juniper Cowl by Tony Lipsy. I was having trouble with the first name. Tony Lipsy. It's just an easy crochet pattern. I've worn this before, I think, and shown it before, but it's just a very, very simple.
They're the best
crochet type of cowl, and then you like this is all just
skirt.
Well, for somebody tiny.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be a cute skirt?
But it is just a crochet pattern. I used scrap fingering weight to make it, just lots of different colors. And you kind of slowly increase it. You start at the top here. And then you slowly increase so it's a little bit of an A-frame, if you can see that. And just stick it around your neck, and
it goes with so many things.
Yeah, that's the thing. It gives you a little warmth if you're cold, which I am not. But I figured, since this is a knitting podcast, I should wear something that is at least made out of yarn. And yeah, so that's my Juniper Cowl by Tony Lipsy.
Yeah, those are great. I mean, I have made a couple of them also, and I mean, even when we sell our things at different, like rug schools, people gravitate towards those. They love them. It's easy to wear. It has a million colors in it. That's another thing the girls were looking for on knitwear at Sebago. So we're going to have to do that for October. Anyways.
What are you wearing?
I will take this off. It just matched so well. I had to put it on. This I got from Quince. But this is my Alpine Bloom sweater, and you've all seen it. You probably all have made it by
I almost
Caitlin.
wore that today
By
too,
Caitlin
but
Hunter.
I'm not really liking the way I look in it these days, so
No.
anyways, I almost wore mine today.
See, we would have been twins. And I did not do the lace on the sleeves. I only did it on the neck. And, I didn't make it all that long. I made it as long as, just to cover up my little belly. But cute, right? I do love it. I can't remember the yarn I used, honestly. But I do love it. I love everything about it. I would do another of these.
I think for mine I used Lannis Light.
You did? I did not. I
think
know I didn't.
When the pattern kind of came out and we were all doing it, that was the yarn of choice at the yarn shop.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I jumped on the bandwagon and made it out of what everybody else was making it out of. So
once somebody makes it, then we all want to make it, know.
And everybody wants to use the same yarn because you want it to,
Yeah.
be exactly like whoever made it first.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. But this was pretty. It's a little bit of a variegated yarn.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't really stripey or anything, just variegated. And I know it's not spin cycle. I just can't remember what it was, but I do love it. I think it's really pretty. So yeah, that's what we're wearing. Do you have anything finished?
Well, I brought one finished object, but it's an old sweater, but I've never shown it on here, so I brought that, and I thought I would show it today.
Okay.
So this is actually the first colorwork sweater that I've ever done.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
And when I first pulled it out of the drawer, I had to give it a good gleaning. I don't know if people know what a gleaner is, but it's a tool that's very handy with knitwear. It basically, you know how when you can get pills in the underarms or around the
wherever there's friction, it makes the most.
It makes like a little pill, especially with a soft yarn. Mm-hmm. And so this needed some gleaning, but I pulled it out of the drawer and I gleaned it up. It's called the Humulus.
Oh, I didn't make this. This was done with Germantown, wasn't it?
Scout.
Oh, okay.
I made it with Scout, which is very, very soft yarn. So the pattern is called Humulus, and it is a pattern by Isabell Kramer. This is the very, very first color work sweater that I ever did. And it's a good pattern to do that because if you notice the pattern, there's not a lot of long floats. So if you're new to doing color work, that's not something that you have to worry about.
So you see how it looks just the same on the, like you can see the pattern. You can see the diamond shape
but there's
there
no long floats between colors because of the way that the pattern is designed. And so I thought I'd bring that and show it.
Isn't
this
it?
is Scout is a DK, yes. It's Kelborn Woolens.
Yeah.
Scout is the name of the wool.
I have sweater quantity of Scout.
And it's a very, very soft merino yarn. Hence why I had some pills on the underarms, but so I gleaned it and look, there's no pills.
No, it looks brand new.
It works really, really good. So if you ever are in a
did you use the rough side? Like, you know how there's different blades?
You get 3 different blades. I used blade number 2 according to the directions. It said for merino, use blade number 2.
Yeah, it came beautiful.
Yep. So
really beautiful.
So that was what I brought to show today. Again, it's the Humulus by Isabell Kramer. And
she makes beautiful patterns.
That was my first color work ever.
Look
so
at you.
If you're afraid of doing color work, I would recommend starting with this pattern as, like I said, it's an easy first pattern because you don't have to worry so much about catching the floats in the back. So you can just get used to holding the 2 yarns without worrying about, oh my God, I got to catch this yarn.
Right.
That's a good pattern.
Really, really
and that's
nice.
It.
Really nice.
So that's what I brought.
I like this too, the little detail on the sleeves.
Yep.
Oh, that's so
like
pretty.
A little cuff. Just
really pretty.
One row.
Oh, I love it.
Yep.
Nice. Good job, Yogi.
Thanks.
Yeah, just saying.
So that was my finished object that I brought.
Really pretty.
I know Speedy Gonzalez over here
Well,
will have a lot of things to share, I'm sure.
Well, not really, because I have been away, but I have to look at the
Yeah, but you were away knitting.
Well, but most of the day I was, what do you call it, doing that.
I mean, you finished a whole object just in the car on the way home from Montreal.
That's true. That is true. All right, so what is this called? It's in the Noro magazine. I did use Noro yarn.
And the information will be in the show notes.
Yes. So this is it. Remember I showed this? It's a little t-shirt for the summer.
That came out really cute.
It's cute, right?
And it's just like almost like a little cover-up.
It looks like crochet, but I'm just going to wear like a little tank under it, and I think it's cute. Like you can wear it with tan pants, white pants.
Just little cap sleeves.
Yeah, it couldn't be easier. You just do a little seam on the top.
You should throw it on Sally in the back there so that people can see what it looks like.
I'll put it on Sally. This is what it looks like. I'm going to just move this. And it's kind of cute, right? Just a little summer.
Yeah, that helps people to see a little bit better how it would look on the body. Yep, really pretty.
And like I said, what did it take, a week, Laura, maybe?
Less, I'm sure.
Yeah, but super easy. Yeah, I love it. I can't wait to wear it, actually.
Yeah, it came out really cute.
So that's one of my finished objects. And it is by, who did this? Rosemary Drysdale. And it's called Filigree. So it's Filigree by Rosemary Drysdale. Anyway, so that's one of my finished things. What else you got?
I don't have any other finished objects.
All right, then I'm going to nope, mine are not. Am mine finished? No. So let's see.
You've got
what do you got?
You've got the adventure bandana.
It's not totally finished though.
Oh, I thought you had finished it.
No.
Oh, okay.
Because I started something else.
All right.
I have startitis, remember? So what do you got going on your needles?
All right, so we got some whips to talk about then.
Yes.
As Ray would say.
Exactly. I freaking love him. Can I just say that again?
Well, I've got, I'll give an update on my Vertices Unite. Let me just pull all the yarn balls out here. So the last time that I showed this, I was on section number 3 and had just really kind of started it. So I've finished section number 3,
is so soft.
Which is the orange right there. And sorry, it's got lots of things going on. But that section is section number 3.
This is the big section, right?
Yes, that's
this
section
takes the
1.
longest.
Section 2 is this green one down here. Section 3 is the orange. And then this pink section here is section 4. And I'm currently working on section 5.
So is that a mixture of,
green and the variegated.
That's this pink one here.
The variegated, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is really,
so that was the variegated and Piglet.
Right.
And this is the variegated and dark sage.
You also have that here, the dark sage. So that's also in here.
Yep. And then, so when I finish this section number 5, I have one section left. Shoot.
This is a huge knit.
I'm going to have to fix this. But let me just get those stitches back on as best I can so that it doesn't totally unravel on me.
Thank God it's an easy part to fix.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this is a very large knit. So, and you have yarn to make another one, as do I.
Yes. I've got yarn from Needles at the Ready, Kevin and Ray. So
this is really pretty.
Yeah, and this yarn is all singles. This is, if people remember, or maybe you didn't see the last video, the yarn that I'm using is Qing Fibre, and that's Qing, and they're singles. It's called Dashing Sassy, I think. I'm not going to look at my phone, but it will be in the show notes. It is in the show notes.
But it's really, really
and it's a singles, and it's very, very soft and drapey.
Singles has the best drape. I swear to God, it's just so nice.
And it's a fairly quick knit. I will say on this section 3, which is rectangular, if you can see that. The shape is kind of rectangular, but you started at this point here. So you worked as like a triangle, to a certain point, and then it switched because now you're working on, it was 98 stitches for quite some time until you got to the end of here. See where that meets? And then you had to do a triangle to finish it off. So like that triangle going across like that. And so then it was decreases.
Are the directions hard?
The directions are not hard at all, but the way the construction of it was, you're like doing some slip knits on one side and some knit two togethers on the other side. And so there were a couple of times that I got a little screwed up and got wrong with my stitch count, and that drives me crazy.
Yes.
So I'd pull it back out till I got back down to the 98 stitches, and so then I got into the habit of like every maybe 3 or 4 rows, I just was counting my stitches to make sure that I hadn't screwed up again, so I wouldn't have so far to pull back. Yeah. But it's an easy knit. It's a big knit. But his directions are so well written. And he has
so many YouTube videos for support.
Yeah, Stephen West writes excellent patterns with
a lot of support.
A lot of support. The one thing that I did have to look up, so he doesn't use wrap and turns, but on some of these directions, you're doing a short row. Mm-hmm. So he has this thing where he calls it shortcut rows. And rather than doing a wrap and turn, you just, stop at whatever point he tells you to stop, and you turn around and you start going in the opposite direction. But when you get to the end where you have to knit across all the stitches, he has a special technique where if you're on like the knit side, you pick up the purl bump from below and knit 2 together. And if you're on the decrease side, you pick up that purl bump and do slip knit. So it's a little bit of a different technique than doing the wrap and turn. Cool. And I did have to look up his video on that because I did not know how to do that. Right. It's not a short row at all. Right. It's just called a shortcut row is what he calls it.
That's very cool.
So that was the only thing that I felt like, I don't know how to do that. Right. And had to look it up. Right. But he has a video. Right. So
I may pull out my yarn from Kevin and start mine.
I have to say, so I am persnickety, as you all know, and I have to say I am so happy with how my points all came together.
Yep.
It's really quite perfect, I have to say. And so that's where all the vertices unite. And I'm very happy with that. I thought it looked really, really good. So there.
Good for you.
That's that.
Good for you. And you have just one section left after you finish this
Yes,
one? Is it a big section or a small one?
No, it's a small section. I can show... Oh, no, I don't have it with me. I was going to say I could show the picture, but... We'll talk about that when we get to acquisitions.
All right. I'm just going to say, she has more bags than Kevin and Ray. Just saying.
We'll talk about that when we get to acquisitions.
Okay. So
you can do a whip next.
I will do a whip.
All right.
Now, we know I have starditis, and so I got this when I went to Knit City, Montreal, and I'm using Mayak yarn.
It was a kit.
It was a kit. It's Jody Brown's pattern. And it's called
Adventure
Bandana, and it's not blocked or anything.
And it was that pattern was a new release.
Yes.
They recently did they were invited to a retreat with Mayak Yarns, and both Tracy and Jody created new patterns for that retreat. Right. And this was one of them.
This is one of them. So when it grows up, it will be a flower. I don't think I have a picture of it. I'm sure I don't.
A rose. It's a rose.
Yeah, it's a rose. So, I've started the rose. I've got to put the green on. And then what she did was...
And it's like doing duplicate or cross stitch.
Right. I did it with the duplicate stitch first. And I'm going to put it up close so you can see it. Then I decided to cross stitch it. Because that's how... That's how Jody did hers. And I liked hers better because the directions say to duplicate stitch it. I don't know why, but... It might say cross stitch also. I hardly ever read a pattern. But I really like it. I think it's going to be like so cute. Like I can't
Yep.
wait to wear it. And
So
then,
it has, hold that and I'll hold down the point
Yeah.
so that people can get the idea.
So it looks like this when you have it on. And once it's blocked out, there's like a little picot edge going all the way around.
And it's just a little bandana,
Yeah,
a little
so
small
cute.
necklet.
Oh my gosh.
Like similar to, like Sophie
Yes.
neck.
Yeah. And this is all Baby Yak by Mayak. And I really like it. And I did it
Which is Baby Yak, right?
Right.
Yeah.
How long did this take? I mean, this was...
She did it in the car on the way home. She casted it
Yeah.
on, and so 6 hours.
Yeah.
And maybe not even, because I think that you
I
stopped
stopped.
working on it
I
before
did.
we actually got home.
I did. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. Next time we podcast, I will show it to you finished, blocked, and beaded, and the flower all put on, and
Yep.
all of that.
So it came in a kit
Yes.
that was being supported by the Mayak.
It was like this.
It comes with all of the little different colors
beads
of
that I'm gonna sew
yarn,
on.
like some what do you want to call that? Like a card of
Yeah, like this will be
extra
my
yarn.
leaves.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make my leaves out of this.
And then they had a dish with different colors of beads and a little spoon, and you could just choose what
Scoop
color
it up.
beads you wanted and throw a few beads in your kit to your liking.
Just
Gayle
so
picked, I think you can probably see them in the bottom there.
All the pink
She's got
ones.
like some light pink and some dark pink. And that was really fun. And so at the booth where Mayak was, Jody and Tracy were also there as
Yeah,
kind
so
of
we
like
got to say hi to them.
a guest and helping out with that particular booth since they had just done that retreat, and it was great to see them again. So hi, Tracy and Jody.
Hi, good to see you guys.
Really good to see you, and it was
They're always so pleasant. And
absolutely
so
Yep.
nice.
so warm, and I have
Yeah.
to say, Tracy, you give the best hugs. You really do. Nice, warm
Bear hugs.
hug.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was really great to just see both of you. And so you bought this kit, but
And I
didn't
bought
you buy
another.
a
That's
different
an
kit?
acquisitions, 'cause I
Okay, so
haven't
that's going to be an
started it.
acquisitions. All right.
Yeah, of course I bought more than one kit.
All right.
What else you working on?
So I'm not going to show this because I showed it last time and I haven't worked on it much. That's the jelly roll.
Yep.
But I do have this is a new whip actually. And so I've been kind of feeling quite a bit jealous
Because of my startitis.
of your startitis, and that I was
ridiculous.
trying to be disciplined
I'm
in
not.
sticking with Olivia's sweater, which I wasn't really good about that in the last couple of weeks either, because I got hooked onto the
Vertices.
Unite. But I'm gonna take that sweater with me when I go to France. So anyways, after Knit City, I did cast on a new whip.
This is the Sonders.
And so the yarn is Sonder's yarn.
Oh,
Yep.
your colors are so good.
And I'll show them here. I brought the skein so that I could show. So one of the other booths that we had some major purchasing at was the Sonder Yarn Co. booth, where
Jackie
we
and Carmen.
got to meet Carmen and Jackie from Knitting a Good Yarn.
Hi, girls.
I was beyond thrilled to meet those two ladies. I've been watching them. Gosh, it must be what, 3 or 4.
They used to do it on the couch. Remember they used to sit on the couch?
Yes,
Yeah.
but remember when we met them?
Yes.
So it was the year that we were at Rhinebeck,
When it
and
was
we were
pouring
going
out.
to the I forget the name of it,
But it shall not be named.
Yeah, the
Event.
that shall not be named, and it was pouring rain that year, and there was a bridge right near the event center. We were walking over the bridge in the rain, and then all of a sudden these two girls jump out of a van. I don't know if it was like a taxi that they had taken or an Uber or something, but in the middle of the bridge, they just jumped out, and it was like a aha moment. We happened to be right there. They were there. We started chatting, and we introduced to each other, and then everybody went on their way. Well, that was Carmen and Jackie. we didn't know it at the time. We didn't know who they were, but we found out that that's who they were. And so from that point on, I had started watching their podcast, which they're just so much fun. They will do kind of one, shot podcasting. They go on for usually at least 3 hours with so much information. But they're just so lovely. They're both therapists, and that's my profession as well. So I feel some kind of a kindred spirit to them. Anyways, they were helping out at the Sonder Yarn Co. Booth. And I had found this pattern a while ago that I thought I really like that and wanted to make it. And so I had picked this pattern out as the pattern that I wanted to find a sweater quantities of yarn for. And because I watch not only Knitting a Good Yarn, but a lot of other podcasters, I do watch a lot of podcasts, recommend the Sonder Yarn Co. as being a lovely yarn. And it's a yarn that I had never knit with. So I had in my mind, okay, this is the pattern and that's the yarn that I want to do. So the pattern is called Perpendicular Pullover, and I am going to just show it here briefly, but then I know Ilaria will put the picture in. But I really liked the style of this. It's a V-neck, and it's got some interest with one side being horizontal and one side being perpendicular.
That's pretty, huh?
And I really liked it. So, and it's done in a sport weight. So I picked out, this is the Sonder Yarn Co. Sunday Morning Luxe Sport, which is BFL, 65% BFL, 25% Masham, and 10% Cashmere. So I don't know if you can really tell, but this is kind of like almost an eggplant purpley color. And then this one is called, flower blossoms, cut flowers. And so that's kind of a dusty rose pink color. So those are the two colors that I'm going to be using. Don't they look great with my orange fingernails? And that is what I have cast on. So it's actually, the sweater's made in pieces. You make a front piece, well, a right side piece, a left side piece, and then the two sleeves. And so I've started just barely one of the horizontal side.
Look how good the colors go together, though.
And it's just, you have kind of a thicker line and then two lines of the lighter color. And then you keep going like that. The other side will be the vertical side, and it will be opposite. So the pink will be the larger strips, or stripes rather. And then the dark purpley color will be the break.
So one half of this sweater, you'll see it in the big picture, is vertical, and the other is horizontal. So it's
and then
kind
you
of
sew
like
them
this.
together.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's got a V-neck. And the only thing that I think I'll change,
I would change
on the
that.
sleeves, she does have a cuff, and
Like,
I think
tight.
Yeah, like a sweatshirt cuff.
Yeah.
And I think for myself, I'll probably do 3/4 length, probably like this length, and just end it and maybe do like an I-cord edge or something.
Even a small
because
ribbing,
I'm
anything.
not a long sleeve person, and I definitely don't want anything tight around my arms. So I'll probably just make it about this length and finish it off with like an I-cord edge, something like that for a modification.
Nice.
But this yarn is scrumptious. I just love it. I've wound up the 2 balls so far, and just even winding it up it's so squishy. I mean, just look at that. Ooh.
Squishing the balls. I love this.
It's really, really nice, and I'm enjoying it, even though I've only done that little bit. So more to come on that one. That's definitely going to go to France with me.
Well, you have to finish Olivia's too.
I know. Well, I'm taking that to France too.
All right.
But, there's going to be different times for different things. This is easy. Olivia's is going to be like a work in the day, need to have good light, thinking when it's quiet. So maybe if, people have gone out of the house or whatever, and I have some quiet time, or early in the morning when I get up, at the crack of dawn.
Absolutely.
I can work on that.
Well, this goes with acquisitions too, but
Nope.
If you hear anything, these are my dogs, and I guess you get to meet them because they're right here.
Oh, we're gonna have a tango moment.
So this is Tango again. Say hi. Hi, everybody. I'm Tango. Hi, Auntie.
Hi, Tangies.
Hi, Auntie. So he's very cute, isn't he? But he's going to go with his sister. And then, come here. This is Goose.
Oh.
He wants to say hi, too.
Hi,
All right.
Goose.
This is Gooseberry.
Hi, baby.
Isn't he cute? Oh, my gosh.
He's my favorite.
Even. Yeah, he's such a good boy. But this is Tango and Goose. They came down here, and so I had to show them.
Oh.
All right. Before we get on to more knitting, we have
Guess what?
We have something.
We have a delivery.
We have a delivery. These are pistachio martinis with
Oh.
a rim of freshly crushed pistachios and chocolate.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Look at that, folks.
Come on in here, Doc. Say hi to the girls because they all like to say hi to you. Here
Yes.
he is. Here's the Doc. Paul.
Cheers. Pistachio martinis. Wow.
Cheers. Okay, let's have a little
Okay.
sippy sip. Oh my God.
I like that kind of reaction. That's a good one.
Oh, good
Okay,
job.
you can keep your job. You
My
almost
job.
lost it when you were away in California, in Seattle,
Uh-huh.
But
because Gayle made really, really good chocolate martinis, and I said, you might be losing your job, but you can keep your job.
yeah.
I got my job.
You got
You
your
got
job
your
back.
job. You have job security.
Thank you.
Doc.
We get to use our
Coasters from the girls.
from Danielle and Bethany,
Thank you, ladies. We'll just
and
put
we're
this
so
down.
excited.
that
It's
they're coming here.
official. Danielle and Bethany are going to visit us and go to Rhinebeck with us, and we
Yes.
are so excited about that. So
I can't wait for our friends to meet them, too.
yes, we're very excited.
Yeah.
Danielle and Bethany are twin sisters that we met when we went to the
Calgary.
the
The Fibre.
why do we have
The Grocery Girls Retreat in
Fibre folk in Canmore, Canada. Get it out.
Oh my God, and we only had one
With-
sip of a cocktail.
with Amanda and Fiona.
Oh,
and
they were so
and
nice.
Tracy and Jody, the four of them together. They call themselves Fibre folk, and it was the Knit Social retreat in February.
And we had so much fun. We're going again. So
And so
Laura's
that's
going to
where-
be on the button waiting so that she gets us in.
That's where we met Danielle and Bethany.
Yeah.
And we just love those two girls.
Yeah, they're so sweet. So this is another. Well, it goes under acquisitions, but I started it.
But it's a whip.
But it is a whip. I just started this. Now, this is quick. I want to say I started it maybe 3 days ago. And I did this when I was at rug cooking. So it's called the Momentum Tee. And what and I'm using the Sonder yarn.
And so folks notice, my acquisition from Sonder Yarn has about this much knit. She has almost a whole sweater knit.
Yeah, well.
Just saying.
All right, so.
I cannot keep up.
This is.
Do you need help reading?
Yeah.
All right, so it is Sunday Morning DK, the same type of yarn that I bought.
Color?
And I'll read them for you.
Thank you.
So it's the same type of yarn that I got. It's a DK yarn, 75% BFL. Oh no, it's not the same. You got
BFL
some.
and
I got
Masham.
the Lux, and you got something
I
different.
got Lux for another sweater.
Okay, so this is just Sunday Morning DK, 75 BFL, 25% Masham, and your colors are cover to cover.
Yes, and this is Cloud 9. So Cloud 9 must
Okay.
be the light one.
Okay.
And cover to cover.
Cover to
It looks
cover
like
is the
black,
dark.
but it's navy
it looks
blue.
like a navy blue. Yep.
The reason that I chose this sweater, first of all, it's a little t-shirt, and I wanted t-shirts for the summer. It has a folded over neck, which I love. So it's thick, it's nice, it's yummy. But look at this detail. It has like eyelets on both sides, but I love the way that it jogs down. I just love that.
That's a raglan construction,
Yes.
right?
And then
they made it so that
Yes.
the stripes
yes, it's an intentional
carry
little.
over the raglan.
Yes. So look at the sides. I just absolutely love it.
It's really pretty.
Isn't it pretty?
It's reminds me of a French sailor girl.
Ooh. Oui, oui. So I did.
You know how they wear like
Yes.
white and blue stripes with a
absolutely.
little. You need to make a little red tie for around your
I
neck.
could do one of the little Sophie scarves.
Yep.
So I did try it on
And you're French.
Yeah, that's
Partly
true.
anyways.
That is correct. And I said, it looks awfully small. But I took it off the needles. I put it on a barber cord, and it fits perfect. I'm so happy. The reason I wasn't sure about the size is because in the pattern, it gives you a bunch of sizes. And then it says to measure on top of your bust. And if mine was 39. So the directions were for 36 to 38 and then 40 to 45 or
So
something.
you were like in between sizes.
It says if you're in between sizes, go down. So I went down and I was like, I hope that wasn't a mistake. Fits perfect.
Awesome.
Just perfect. I'm so happy. So I
Well, and you're also on that, quest to drop a couple of pounds.
God, yeah.
So
My whole life. But I'm thinking that I'll have this done for the next podcast.
of course you will.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah,
But
of course you will.
That's my plan. But I absolutely love it. I had never used Sonder yarn either. I love it. I did have 3 breaks in one of the yarns, and but I know that standard. That's factory standard. You can have up to 3 breaks, and I did, and they were all within like moments of each other. It was like a break, and then I'm knitting along. Got to the second row, another break, and it happened twice more. So, but other than that, it's like Laura said, it's squishy.
Yeah, it's really nice
it's
yarn.
Nice.
Now this one is just a 2-ply. It looks
Correct.
like, and it's a lot more. What do they call
Loosely
that?
spun.
Woolen,
Yes,
woolen
woolly.
spun
Yeah,
when
woolen,
it's
yes.
fluffy.
It's fluffy. It's not. It's certainly not tight at all. I
No.
mean, this unplies in like a second. But like I said, I love it. I love the pattern. I picked the great yarn. Actually, Carmen helped me pick this yarn out. So thank you, Carmen. I'm totally in love with it. I will have this done. Hopefully
I
by
just
the
can't
next
tell you
time.
how excited I was that we got to. Not only did we get to just meet them and say hello, but they both like spent some time with us, chatting, helping us pick out the yarn.
They did.
And I'm just like, eek.
Yep.
Fangirl.
All right. What else do you have that you're working on?
Oh,
Any other whips?
The only other thing that I brought, which I wasn't going to show, but I guess I can show, is my jelly roll blanket. I haven't really even done that much more on it. But I'll show it because,
Because you can.
So last time that we got together, I moved the marker up. There's the marker, and I've done maybe about 3 inches. So that's all that I've done so far.
But it's so pretty.
And again, this is using, wrong side. This is using Gina's Knit Club. So I don't know if I'm right or wrong about this. So I need to really find out. But I know that for her Instagram, she changed to Gina's Knit Club from SkeinCocaine. But then I'm wondering and I didn't think that she was rebranding her yarn business, but it was the Virginia crawl this past Saturday, yesterday, and she had some yarn at one of the local yarn stores for sale. It was just like the colorway for the yarn crawl for yesterday. And the tags on it said Gina's Knit Club. Again, I'm not for sure, but I'm thinking that maybe she has switched her yarn branding over to Gina's Knit Club as well, so that she's Gina's Knit Club on Instagram and Gina's Knit Club in her yarn as well, which makes sense, right?
Right. So that you keep it straight.
So if anybody is looking for her yarn,
she has beautiful yarn.
She really
that
does.
is ridiculous. Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm really, really happy with it. So I like
like
this
that
side
side
better.
Me too.
But this is technically the right side.
Yeah, but I would go by the other side.
You would?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this side too.
I love that side.
So
love
that's
it.
all that I've been working on. I've mostly spent all my time on the Vertices Unite, a little bit of time on this, and very little time on Olivia's sweater.
That's all right.
So.
That's all right. I mean, we're not a machine.
Well, I'm certainly not a machine.
So I did not do a ton of this, but I did do some. So I want to show it. This is my Peekaboo cardigan by MJ Off the Hook. And this is so fun. I'm going to have Laura hold one side of this for me. So this is how you put the sleeves on. So
that's going to turn into a sleeve?
Yes. Yes. So this will be the sleeve. This is the back. And then these will be the sleeves. And
These
then
are the arms?
The arms, yeah.
Okay.
So it'll be, and I just thought, I mean, it's so fun to do, and the color's great, and I just can't wait to do it, but I have startitis. So, but I did make some progress on this. I finished up the back, and I started
that's going to be really cute.
Isn't it
That'll
nice?
be a nice beach cover-up as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I
For
figured
when
I
you
could wear
guys
it
get to go to the beach while I'm slaving away in front of the
Well,
computer
you'll come
working.
with me on the weekend.
I hope so.
Yeah, hello. I will tell you now that, and you don't even know, this morning,
What don't I know?
I have been...
That's always scary, folks.
I know. I stopped working on the sari sweater, Viva, I think it's called.
The reddish
The red one, because I had, about that far back, I had twisted a cable wrong.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do a video of fixing just that cable so that I could show people how I do it. Like, I do not have the head to take apart, because there was all cables, like different cables and seed stitch and whatnot going across the whole row. So I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to take the whole thing apart. I'll find the problem, fix the problem, and knit
You're
back up.
so good at that. Me, I would take it all out because
no.
I don't trust myself to be able to figure it out.
So I did. There will
much
be
math.
there will be a video up on YouTube. I waited till I was in a quiet place and I could video it. So, and I waited for my the little stand to come up with the ring light. So
Did you get it?
So I could actually video.
That's what I didn't know yet.
Yeah. So
because we had talked about getting that, but I didn't know that you had gotten it.
Yes. So I actually videoed it, and that will also be up, and it'll be fixing cables or something.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So you can look for that.
So we're gonna start to move into doing some tutorials.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Excellent.
I'm sure there's many people out there that know how to do it, but for those that don't know how to do it, it's kind of a...
Or sometimes, even though you know something,
Right, there's other ways to do it.
I can't tell you how many times, like, you know how to do something, but then you haven't done it for a while. So you just need a refresher. Like, sometimes I need that with Kitchener stitch.
Yeah.
That just because the first couple of pass-throughs that you do with Kitchener
are different
to lock down the first stitch. Mm-hmm. And I oftentimes have to just go and find the YouTube video and give myself that refresher course.
Yeah.
So even if you know how to do something, you still need the resource.
Right.
And,
So I'm hoping...
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm hoping it helps some people out. And obviously, if you know how to do it, just don't watch it. Or else you can watch it, because I'm kind of fun. Anyways.
Do you have any other whips, or... Are you whipped out?
None that I'm going to talk about, because I didn't make that much progress on them. I did work on the little poet scarf that I'm doing from Sari stuff, but I'll show it when I get a little further along. But yeah,
okay.
So I think that we really need to talk about some acquisitions, because this could take some time.
Yes.
First of all, this is the first time that I have been away anywhere and in a very long time and bought this much yarn, because I usually don't buy hardly any. Like, I'll buy very, very little. That's why I don't buy a lot of yarn, because of that. And that's not even
That's just
the tip of the
just a
iceberg.
sprinkling.
Yes. So, but this time, this was a lot of Canadian yarn. I didn't buy anything I could get here.
Well, that was the thing,
Right.
is that we had never been to like a Canadian festival before.
And I love Canadians. Oh my God, they're so wonderful. What nice people. And
Absolutely. And
They so
everybody
get it,
was
and-
like, in spite of the fact that we have to admit that we're from the USA these days.
Right, they were still nice.
Everyone was so welcoming.
Yes.
And very kind.
Yes. So, well, let's show some of the stuff that we got
right.
because...
So, well, let's start with, when we first, got there and walked in the door.
Oh, yes.
We had to get some swag.
Yep.
So the first thing that we did was, even before, like, actually walking in the door, and they had it so well organized. This woman, her name was Linda, she helped us in scanning our tickets and giving us our little bracelet for the weekend, and then directed us right over to the swag table.
Yep.
So we picked up a couple of little, like, sock sack bags. I got this one here that says Knit City Montreal on it, and Gayle got the same.
Because we have to.
Yep. And then I loved this one as well that just says Knit City. It didn't say Montreal, so that was the difference. We had to get both because one actually said Montreal.
And what's nice, Laura, is it's a bucket. It stands up.
Yes,
the
it's a
bottom
bucket.
opens up to, like, it stands up.
Yes. It's got like a square bottom.
Yeah.
And then they had some other little trinkets on the table as well. I got a sticker to put on my water bottle.
Mine's on my water bottle.
I haven't put mine on yet. And then I got a little pin that I could put on a bag that says Knit City. And then I also got this, which is, I don't know if any of you know what Bagoo bags are, but these bags are the best.
I get them for us when we go to California.
Yep, they're good for grocery shopping. They're good for, knitwear stuff.
And they're good because you keep them in your purse like this.
Right.
And you pull them out at the market.
It has this little envelope that you can fold it right back up and put it in. I just love these baggy bags, and they had them. So, and it just says, make things.
So good.
Isn't that nice?
And you can wash them,
Oh, yeah. Yep. So I'm really happy with that swag. And it's all going to be useful. The bags are useful. The pins and the stickers are just fun. But, it's always fun to, like, support and get some swag when you go to things like this.
Absolutely.
So that was my swag.
Excellent.
Do you want me to just kind of go down the list of my acquisitions, and then you can show yours?
I have to go upstairs and get something. I'll be right back. So keep going.
Exit stage left. Kind of reminds me of last week or 2 weeks ago when I had to exit. So at the Mayak station booth, I also got the 2 kits. One to make the Merino slippers is the pattern that Tracy Miller, one of the grocery girls, had recently dropped. And I'm going to make that pattern with these. So it's hot pink. And so these are basically it's the same kit that Gayle got that she made her bandana scarf out of. But I'm going to use this for the slippers. And Ilaria will put the pattern right here. It's called the Merino Slippers by Tracy Miller. So she'll show you a picture. And then I bought this kit, the blue and the green, and I'm going to make my scarf out of that. So those are my 2 kits from the Mayak that I purchased. That was a purchase of 2 kits. And then we stopped by another booth that is Ginger Snap. And this is like to die for, this yarn. You're not going to be able to understand it here on this video, but you know how, like, if you go to the movie theater and as you're walking up the aisle, they have like the black lights? Well, this yarn is black light reactive. So it has nips of color in it that are black light reactive. And so it's like glow in the dark. And I'm going to use this skein to make the Joji Locatelli Traveling Solo one skein wonder shawl or neck piece that just recently came out, and I just love it. It's called Buttercream Sprinkles. Isn't that beautiful? I don't know if you're seeing it clearly, but it's kind of a buttery cream color, and it's got fluorescent pink, orange, yellow, green, and all those little nips of color are what glows in the dark. So I think that's really cool. And they had a display in their booth with the black lights shining on it so you could see what it actually looks like. And it just is really, really bright and vibrant and colorful. And I just loved it. And then I had already showed, but just to remind folks, my acquisition was the sweater quantity of the Sonder Yarn Co. And I did the Sunday Morning Luxe Sport that has the cashmere in it. And that was 10 skeins altogether for me, 5 of each color. I always buy an extra skein.
Me too.
Because number one, I don't ever want to run out, especially when you buy something when you're away like that. You want to make sure that you're getting the same color, the same lot, all that.
Or even if you make an adjustment.
And and that's the other thing is that for myself, I almost always make sweaters longer than what the patterns call for.
Exactly. Like, you never know. And, some of Andrea Mowry's sweaters, which I'm a big fan, are cropped.
Yes.
I'm 66. I'm not wearing cropped sweaters.
Right.
So I'll make the sweater because I love them, but I make them a little longer.
Yep. So this was definitely my major purchase of the weekend. And it's just beautiful. I just love it. So 10 skeins of that I purchased. And then Gayle didn't know this. This was a secret. Oh, wait, one more thing before I go on to that. We also stopped at Les Garçons Boutique, or Boutique Les Garçons,
Yep.
I guess is how you say it. And this is their
stunning.
colorway for
For the show. I'm going to just bring that up so you can see.
Okay.
Look at the colors in that. Look at the blue.
Yeah, gray, blue, browns. It's just, it's beautiful.
Their color sense is fantastic.
We're in this booth, right? And, we're all excited. Max and Vincent are both there.
We love them. We've actually been
we're
to dinner with
saying hi
them.
to them, and you're giving them hugs and everything. And I'm looking around, and next thing I know, Gayle's like, "Here, Laura, here." And she puts this in my hand. She says, "You have to have it. It's the colorway,
the show color."
So I don't know what this is going to be for. Like, didn't have a plan for it upon purchase, but
we'll find something.
We'll figure out something to do with that one skein. And then the other thing that was so nice was that we also got a canvas bag from them.
And they're good quality, and it'll
really,
hold a
really
lot.
good quality.
That'll hold a sweater quantity.
And very pretty, too.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yep.
Because it's the
So it says Les Garçons Montreal on it. Has a really pretty, and I'm sure that Max probably did the illustration.
Because that's his guy.
Because that's what he does.
Yeah, and those are his little illustration things.
And then my last acquisition from the last 2 weeks, and this was the thing
I
that
did
Gayle
not
didn't
know this.
So there are these two guys.
I'm so upset. Like, I didn't know you got this.
Well, there you go.
I know, right?
I'm sure people probably have heard of these two fellows as well. Chip and Aaron from Fibre Hustle. They're two gentlemen out in Seattle that have a podcast. Chip primarily does quilting and sewing, and Aaron does knitting and actually is doing yarn dyeing now as well. And, has started his own indie dye business, yarn. And so for a long time, I've been watching them, and I've been coveting the baskets that Chip makes. And he has 3 different sizes. He has, a large basket, a medium basket, and then a small basket called the Chipette. Well, I got myself a Chipette.
Of course you did.
Look at that.
Look at the color, too. Oh.
And
I'm going to call and get one today.
because I couldn't just stop the Chipette, I
at
got a
this.
medium-sized one as well.
You know what I like about them? They're sturdy.
They're very sturdy.
like-
They're quilted. And look at this. It's got a magnetic button. So it's like a snap, but it's also magnetic. And it makes it so now you can't load it up heavy because that will come undone.
Uh-huh.
But if you just got yarn in it or a project, it's fine. It stays
Right.
closed. You wouldn't want to put books in here, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
If you put books in there, it would be heavy, and then that might come undone.
Right.
When you're trying to carry it. But that is,
Pick them up.
oh, I did bring the Vertices Unite thing. Oh, there we go. But anyways, that's my medium size.
That's medium?
This is the medium. There's
Oh my
one that's
gosh.
larger. So I got the medium and I got the Chipette. And look, they match.
Well, I'm going to have one.
Matchy matchy.
Mm-hmm.
So those were all my acquisitions.
All right. Let's dig in.
All right.
Okay.
I feel like we should have done like a competition as to who had more.
Oh, gosh.
Like we did at SkeinCocaine.
All right, so I bought Fibre also. And this is La Dame. How do you say that? Because I'm not... Ox?
Wait a minute, I was trying to drink.
Angoras, that's the name of the gal.
La Dame au Angora.
Okay. So,
With my French accent.
Yeah, you're so good. Oh, Angora. Forgive us, you French-speaking girls.
Right?
We're really pathetic.
And look at how creative.
I love it. It's like in a little salad container.
It looks like it's lettuce, right?
But, so, this is...
Look at that.
I can't
Oh my
open
God.
that.
If you guys could feel this, it is beyond soft. It is
I
bunny.
can't wait to spin it. I'm going to spin this one.
You want me to open up
Yeah,
this one?
I'm gonna spin
This one
this.
really looks like lettuce. It looks like kale.
So this is Angora, Shetland, and silk.
Look at that.
This is Angora, Shetland, and silk. So I'm going to spin this.
And
it's
this
like
is
it's in a bat.
This one is like pencil
Look
roving.
at this. Ooh! And then that one is, what's the fiber content, Laura? It's on the bottom. I'm going to spin them independently and then spin them together, I believe.
This
anyways.
is 70% Angora, 30% Merino. So 30% bunny and 70%
Isn't it pretty?
Merino. And it's in a pencil roving. And,
Yep.
and doesn't that just look like
Seaweed, right?
like seaweed? Yeah.
Oh, feel it.
Yep.
though. Oh.
And it's so soft. And I love the packaging. It's just so creative that it looks like you're buying salad.
So then,
Uh-oh.
this
I
is,
think she wins this time.
this is by, I can't see that word.
Oh. We need to get you your glasses.
I need to have my other eye fixed and then get my glasses.
Well, it's
It'll
in
tell
French.
you the name.
It's in French, so I'm not sure that I can read it either. Alaire Artifacts.
And it's cashmere.
Cashmere and CIE, whatever that is. Cashmere and
This
Co.
is alpaca.
40% merino,
Baby camel.
20% cashmere, 20% baby
Camel.
chameau. Oh, camel. Oh, it is in English there as well.
Yeah,
And then 20% alpaca.
right. So that's this. So I got 2 braids of the same color
Wow,
here.
that's really soft too,
Isn't
Gayle.
that gorgeous? So I got 2 of those.
2 of those.
And then what's in this one?
This one is 70% merino
Oh, silk.
and 30% soybean.
What is this? This says silk.
And this one is 50% merino, 25% tussa silk, and 25% natural flax.
So I think I'm going to spin these independently and then spin them together as well. So,
This and this?
Yeah.
Yeah, those colors go nicely together.
Yeah.
They're not exactly the same,
Right.
but they're of the same family.
Right. I think I'll like that. So that's my spinning
Yeah,
stuff.
but these two are exactly the same.
They're good, right?
Oh, this one especially is so soft. I mean, they're both soft, but you can tell that this one's got the vegetable matter in it. The flax.
Ridiculous. All right. Now I'm sure that Laura talked about some of this stuff.
Oh
here.
gosh, I only bought one skein at Ginger Snap. You bought a lot of stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
She wins.
Here.
She's definitely the winner this
Well,
time.
winning is not always a good thing, friends. Winning is not a good thing
Gayle
sometimes.
wins.
All right, so
Oh,
let's
this
just...
print is really good.
Isn't it lovely? This is from the Sonder Yarn, and this is the one. This is called Haven. It's Falkland Merino, BFL, and Masham.
Got fiber in my
So,
stick.
and then this is called Halo, and this is their mohair.
That's the one that
That I don't know what I'm
Jackie
making.
showed you a sweater.
Yes. So Jackie showed me, I sent her a text this morning.
Oh, good.
She showed me a sweater that I loved, but I didn't get the name of it.
Beautiful sweater.
So
and it was even in this same color.
The only difference is that she used a purple mohair because this color was out of stock.
Oh.
So she said, this is what I used, but I wanted it to read more pink than lavender. These are the lovely colors.
That doesn't suck.
No. Pretty, right?
Beautiful.
I'll find out what I'm making with that. I'm not sure. This is also Sonder yarn, and this is the Luxe Sport.
Okay.
So this one is the one with the cashmere. BFL 65 BFL, 25 Masham, 10 of cashmere. And I am going to make a new pullover in Sari Nordland's new book,
Summer Knits.
Summer Knits, and it's called... I'll put it in the show notes, but I think it was POV, or no, PAX, PAX, I believe is the name of this sweater. It's, I want to say no sleeves, all cables, just stunning. But that's for this. So this was my Saunders yarn, plus the blue and the white for the Momentum tee. Then I could not resist, like Laura. These all glow in the dark. Like, hello, like really? I'm like a 2-year-old. I just want to make. I could even do a straight
And their
tee.
display was amazing.
Yes.
Because they had the black lights showing on it, so you could really see exactly what's going to happen when you are in that same environment.
Yes, very, very fun. They're called Nightlife, I believe. Or
this one's called Buttercream.
Oh yeah, Buttercream Sprinkles.
And then this one
and
is
they're black
called,
light reactive, all of these.
This one's called Radioactive.
But wouldn't that be a cute little summer tee if I striped it?
And again, it's ginger snap.
And it's brighter than what it's reading. It's reading more like a bluish color, but it's really vibrant.
Vibrant yellow, like highlighter green.
Yeah, it's not showing up. It's looking too blue, but it is highlighter green is right, Laura. Mm-hmm. So maybe I'll do a striped tee out of this for the summer, and then go to somewhere with the black light.
You have to go in the movie theater and walk up the aisle.
Yeah, I'll be like, woo! I love it. And this, I couldn't help myself. I mean, really.
That's
so
really
fun.
Pretty too.
So
That's
fun.
Got your pink and orange.
Exactly. And then Laura showed you one of these kits, but this is one of them from Mayak, and this is going to be the slippers that Tracy Miller made.
So we're both making a bandana, and we're both making slippers.
Yes, and of
we
course,
both got kits.
Because I love Max, and I love everything he does.
Yeah, we've got to figure out what
colors.
we're going to do with that.
This is
that's
DK.
That's the only thing I think that I bought that I didn't have a plan for.
Well, I'm sure we'll find something.
Oh, yeah,
and
absolutely.
I mean, we can mix this with something else, and we could even do.
You know what might be nice? Remember that blue little one skein scarf that I had on the last time called Orbit?
Oh yeah,
that might be nice.
Yeah,
for that.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. So I want to say, I think that's what I bought. I think I did pretty good, right?
You did. We want to do a lot of shout outs for all the folks that we
And then I have a couple of finished things in rug cooking.
Okay. First of all, the first morning that we went down to breakfast at the restaurant cafe area, we were standing in line, and all of a sudden, an old friend comes running from across. She was like seated way on the other side of the restaurant. And she saw us. We had on our striped sweaters, as we said that we would wear. And so she had been watching our podcast and knew that that's what we were going to be wearing. And she saw us, and she came running over. And that is a dear old friend who actually owned the yarn shop here in Rhode Island before Gayle and her partner had purchased the yarn shop. And her name is Jeannie.
Jeannie Silag.
Yes.
And we love her.
And yes. And it was so nice to see her and to catch up. And
it really was.
Life happens, right? It's probably been 15 years or more.
Yep.
Since
but it was like we didn't even... It was like we didn't drop a beat.
Yes, it was like catching up with an old friend, and you felt like you picked up right where you left off.
Exactly.
It really did. Thank you so much, Jeannie, for seeing us and letting us know that you were there, because we certainly had no idea. We had not been in contact, but we got to really hang out with her quite a bit.
And her friends that were nice.
Breakfast. Yes. There was Irma and Nancy. My mother's name.
Marguerite.
That's how I remembered that.
Marguerite.
Yep. And a few other girls that were with her. So what we found out is that Jeannie actually has opened up a new yarn store. So life happened, right? She moved away from Rhode Island. She's gotten married. She's, been married for 13 or 14 years now? 12?
12 or
okay.
13, yeah.
I thought she
close
said...
Close enough.
Yeah, close enough. I'm not going to say that.
No.
So anyways, close enough. She's had her career and so forth, but not too long ago, about 2 years ago, moved back to the East Coast, and she and her husband are living in Connecticut in a town called Simsbury. And she decided just about a year ago, I think it will be a year coming up in June, that she will have opened up a new yarn store, and it's called Simsbury Yarns.
And we're going.
Yes, we are going to go and visit. And
we're going to go to yarn tasters, but maybe we can go before that just to go hang out.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's in Simsbury, Connecticut, which is around the Hartford area, kind of, sort of. So if you're local to that area or want to go on a little road trip to check out a new yarn store, definitely would encourage you to do that.
And she has some really, when we were chatting, she has some really beautiful yarns. So, and not stuff that everybody else carries.
Right. Yep. So that was really neat to run into Jeannie and catch up with her. And then, of course, we want to shout out our podcasters that we met or got to reconnect with. So, of course, Tracy and Jody from the Grocery Girls,
Vincent.
Max and Vincent from
Happy
Hour at Les Garçons. We got to meet Jackie and Carmen from Knitting a Good Yarn. We also got to meet Mr. Snap That at Ginger Snap.
Yep.
And shout out to Lucy Ann from the French Port Knitter.
Yes.
That we got to, hang out with.
Unfortunately,
we met her at the PEI when we went to the inaugural PEI Sheep and Wool Festival. And that was 2 years ago.
Yes.
And then we have, occasionally chit-chatted through, the internet and on Instagram. She does have a podcast herself, which is called the French Port Knitter.
Yes, you might want to check that out.
Yeah, absolutely. So shout out to Lucy Ann. And then also just want to, again, and we had hoped to maybe see Sari again at,
she was teaching
at Knit City, Montreal. And I have the one book. Gayle has two of her books. And we were hoping to maybe snag her to get them signed. We didn't actually run into her, but we know that she was there and she was teaching. So we just want to, acknowledge Sari Nordland again and just share what a wonderful designer that she is and person as well. So
yes.
Those were all of the people that I had written down. There were tons of people that we met.
Oh my gosh, we watch your podcast.
We had asked people to, come and say hello if you saw us. We wore our striped sweaters.
We gave out our stickers.
So hot. Oh my God, it was so hot. You know me, I don't like the hot, but it was hot. But we wore the sweaters on Saturday, and so many people came up to us and, told us how they were watching us and enjoyed us. And I have to say, the word really spread because we have picked up a lot more subscribers in the last couple of weeks. We've picked up over 100 more subscribers, which is just awesome. So we are well past 2,000 now, hopefully on our way to 3,000.
Then we'll have another big drawing,
We're just going to keep plugging away at it. Want our Shenanigang to keep, liking, subscribing, sharing, talking about us. Hopefully we'll continue to bring you content that you enjoy and just, be some friendly knitters for you.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Now, I know that this is kind of last minute, but I want to throw in because people are really liking our rug cooking things.
Yes.
So I want to show you a finished product. This is my very first rug cooking project.
Oh, good.
My daughter Adriana is an artist, and she drew this for me. So Laura and I will hold this up. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but it's an elephant.
His
Yeah,
trunk
here's
is
his
right
trunk.
here.
Here's his trunk.
And the ear.
Here's the ear.
Yep.
You can see the eye. So
Isn't that beautiful?
that was my very first one. And there's nothing bad here. I really like it.
And now, talk about how you did your binding, because your binding is very different from what I did.
I had Beverly McCahey. How do you say her last name? McCahey? Beverly did it for me.
Oh, okay.
So if you can see my binding, I have a hole here because I told her I wanted to hang it. So I'll put a dowel through here so I can hang it. Because
is there one on this side too?
Yeah, it goes right through.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I can hang it up.
Oh, all right. Because it's not something that you would put on the floor.
Right. I mean, it's a picture.
It's a wall hanging for sure.
So I'm making this one into
That's
it. Look at
beautiful.
I did that good too, didn't I?
Yes, you did. No holidays on yours.
No, and that's my first
on
one.
mine. Mine is like full of holes.
So no, this is my first one, and this one here I'm going to bind for the rug school in September that Laura and I go to. And I did this one with Diane Stoffel.
This one is going to be in the rug show.
This is going to, this is a floor rug.
And this is what's called Oriental
it's a
style.
Russian Oriental.
Look at that, folks.
So.
Gayle, you are the bomb.com.
It's pretty though,
right? Look at how beautiful that is.
Not many holidays either. I did good on this
No.
one. Wow. So I'm going to have my wonderful teacher, Betty McClintock, show me how to bind this one off.
So you're going to learn how to do it yourself.
Yeah, I want to do the one the way Betty does it, for something different. But yeah, so hopefully this will be in the rug show, and all of this will be taken care of. This all gets
so you trim that down, fold it under, and then the edge of the rug will be like that.
Yeah. So, but I love it. I love the colors. It's so happy. It's so me. I always hook with very, very bright colors and bright things, but this is a Russian Oriental. Mm-hmm. And let's
beautiful.
See. It's by
Da Franza. It looks like D-A Franza, Franza Designs.
I got it at Green Mountain Rug Hooking in Montpelier. I mean, it's not as big as the one I'm working on now, but it's big enough. That will be on my floor soon. Yay.
Beautiful. Where do you think you'll put it?
Down here
somewhere?
Yeah.
Nice.
As long as my dogs don't tinkle on it. That would make me sad.
Yeah.
So that's the rug hooking. I don't really... Oh, I have one more thing to show. And this is something I'm going to work on, rug hooking wise, for the summer. And I got this from my teacher. And this will, when it grows up, it's going to be a footstool.
I'd like to do one of those and have a footstool.
Yeah.
But I've already got 2 other patterns that I'm going to need hooking. So
me too.
I'll probably be 6 feet under before I could ever get to another project.
Me too. But so that's my other one I'm going to be starting.
So many things, not enough time is really the reality of it.
Exactly.
It's like having eyes bigger than your stomach.
Exactly. We just keep going. Oh, yeah, I can do that. Oh, all right.
Yep.
But, so anyways, that's what we have. That's all that she wrote, folks.
We do have one other thing to figure out, which is on June 14th is Worldwide Knitting Public Day.
Yep.
We had kind of thrown out the idea of going to Goddard Park, which is in Warwick, Rhode Island, State Park. I did look into seeing about reserving an actual picnic area. When I called, they said all picnic areas are reserved every weekend for the entire season.
Isn't that crazy? I would have never figured that, honestly.
Here we are. It's only May.
Right. In Little Rhodey. And
I couldn't get a picnic area. So now there's lots more park than just the picnic areas. So pending good weather, I think we'll still try and go there and set up camp somewhere. We have this folding table. We'll bring that. We will bring a few folding chairs, but we don't have that many. So if you are going to plan to try to stop by Goddard Park and visit with us, 12 to 3 at Goddard Park in Warwick, which is State Park. It's just down the street from Skein Yarn Shop.
So you can go there too, either before or after.
And what I learned is that they're having the trunk show with Michael from Upland Fibre
yes.
Co. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know he was going to be there.
Yep. So he's going to be there doing a trunk show on the 14th, which is Worldwide Knit and Public Day. So he'll be at Skein Yarn Shop. Folks should definitely stop by there, do some shopping, but please also come by and visit with us.
We'll have a little bit of snacky food, some cold drink.
And bring a fold chair, sit with us
knitting
for a little bit, bring your knitting, and just come and say hello and sit and knit and chat with us for a little bit. We'd love to, meet people and be out there and
hang
doing
out
our
with our
thing.
friends.
That's pending good weather. If it rains, we'll probably end up at Skein Yarn
Right.
Shop.
If it rains, we'll be at Skein.
The other thing that's going on that same day is that Kevin and Ray are having a trunk show down at Driftwood Yarns
Yes.
in Connecticut.
I don't think they're staying there the whole day, but they are going to be there in the morning, I believe.
At least, yep.
Yes.
And then his trunk show is going to be there for an entire week.
Yes.
But they will be there for a little bit of time on at least, if not the whole day,
Yes.
on Saturday the 14th. And that's Driftwood Yarns in Connecticut. And I know that they were talking on their podcast, it's only like a 45-minute ride
Yes.
from Rhode Island to Driftwood Yarns in Connecticut. So if it's a rainy day, we might even do that. Who
Exactly.
knows?
If
But
it's
we'll
raining,
definitely
we'll
go
stop
by
there and then we'll go to Skein.
Yep.
But if it's not raining, we'll be at Guarded Park.
Yep.
And we'd love to have you guys come and hang out with us. Old friends, new friends,
Yes.
It'll just be a fun time.
Yep.
We're looking forward to it. And
So, without further ado, I think that's a wrap.
But
huh?
what do people have to do?
They have to like,
subscribe,
and
ring the bell.
my bell. Ring my bell. Bye, everybody.
Bye.